We at Evo India aren't particularly a big fan of the monsoons. It makes getting out and creating content that you, the enthusiast, likes a lot harder. But the monsoons, there's no denying the romanticism around them. The hills are green, the air is fresh, and the weather, it makes you get out and take out a jacket. No, perfect for a road trip, and it gives us another excuse to head out in this, our long-term Kia Carens, and head out for a getaway. Lavasa is just 2 hours away from our base in Pune, 4 hours if you're driving from Mumbai, and as some of you might know, to get there we will have to drive through some good roads and some not so good roads, and that is exactly why we chose the Kia Carens. With over 50,000 bookings in just less than 2 months after its launch, this MPV has been a great success for Kia in India. And the company, they cannot seem to make enough of those. And the reason why it's so popular, I'll tell you why. It's because it ticks all the right boxes. We chose the Carens for this road trip precisely for one reason. It's comfortable yet feature-rich interior. Now you get wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connectivity. You can also keep your gadgets juiced up on the move thanks to the variety of charging options and a wireless charging pad that the Carens gets, and it's a joy to crank up your tunes on the move, honestly, because the Carens, it gets an 8-speaker Bose sound system, and there's also a air purifier in the cabin to keep the cabin clean and free of any virus. Drive after dark, and you also get ambient lighting, which makes the cabin of the Carens a very serene and very comfortable place to be in. We don't need any fuel stops on this journey with the Carens. Now agreed, Pune to Lavasa is barely 50 kilometers, but this fact would have held the same even if we were heading to Goa. Kia offers the option of 3 engine options with the Carens, a petrol, a turbo petrol and a diesel, and we have tried all 3. These engines do a great job of hustling the Carens for a quick overtake while also delivering great fuel economy. Especially on the highway, with the diesel engine that we have got on our Carens, you can easily squeeze out over 20 kmpl out on the highways, and that is a lovely thing. A quick tea break also gives me time to talk about another attribute of the Kia Carens that makes it so popular among families with 6 to 7 members. It's the roomy cabin. Now, not only do you get enough and more headroom and legroom in the first and second row, adults would also be happy to spend long periods of time in the third row thanks to the space it offers. You also get a one-touch tumble for the second row of seats. They fold completely and they allow more than enough room for the occupant to get inside the third row. And did I mention that the third row occupants, they also get their own aircon vents, cup holders and charging ports. How cool is that? The ride quality of the Carens is also very impressive. The seats, they are comfortable, and this is a car that you can spend long hours in behind the wheel and yet you don't feel tired. Get past Chandni Chowk, accelerate through the straight sections that you get, and this is where the road to Lavasa, it gets really bad. But the Carens, it takes these bad roads like a champ. Its high ground clearance means that we haven't scraped its belly anywhere, and despite being a large car, the Carens, it is very easy to maneuver. The Carens, it gets a long waiting period, and I can understand why, because this is an MPV that people are actually excited about owning. I read somewhere that the ownership and the maintenance cost of the Carens is very low. It is in fact just 37 paise per kilometer, and I think that's a very good thing, because in the 7-seat MPV segment, the buyers, they look for value in everything, and that is why the Carens scores a huge point in that aspect. We are nearly at the end of our journey, making our way to the top of Lavasa, and the narrow roads coupled with the low visibility make me really thankful for the Carens' safety features. Kia is proud of something that they call the robust 10 safety package, which means that every Carens is equipped with 6 airbags, ABS, ESC, hill hold control, downhill brake control, and last but not the least, a tire pressure monitoring system. Now, all these features are a blessing in disguise to have, especially the hill assist control, for example. We've finally made it to Lavasa and it doesn't even feel like we've driven here. I'm fresh as a daisy and that's saying a lot about this, the Kia Carens. Now, the car's super pricing, powerful and frugal engines coupled with an interior that is loved by families makes this an excellent road trip machine. Back that up by Kia's excellent after sales and service support and you have a massive sales success. Now that we know that the Kia Carens is an excellent road trip machine, it's time to head out for some more exciting drives. Stay tuned to the Evo India channel for more such cool videos to follow.